everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So this build is going to be the interior of our 3 generations family home or Sunrose Manor. And the exterior for this build actually went up on, I think it was Thursday, but yeah, like earlier this week. The exterior, or maybe it was Friday, I can't really remember. But basically the exterior went up as its own video earlier in the week, and I'll leave a card on the screen and I'll leave it linked in the description as well if you want to go ahead and check out the exterior of this build, because I won't really be showing it off in this video. Obviously it will have been in the thumbnail, and I might include a quick shot of the exterior at the end of the video, but yeah, if you want to see the backyard and all of that stuff, then go and check out the first one, or the first part, I guess I should say. And yeah, we're jumping straight on into the furnishing of this build. I started this one off a little bit differently than the way I normally do builds, where normally I would do the communal spaces, so the living room, kitchen, dining room, office, if the home has an office. I'll usually do those rooms first, but for this one I actually decided to tackle the bedrooms first. So that's what you'll be seeing. You're seeing the master bedroom right now, which is actually on the first floor, and then I'll jump up to the second floor and do all of the other bedrooms. But before I start talking too much more about the build and the family and all of that stuff, I do just want to say that I'm currently recording this at 10 past 3 in the morning. So yeah, there's that. I'm recording this at stupid o'clock. I'm also only running on 6 hours of sleep, and I'm basically running on sugar, caffeine, and just willpower. So if this voiceover is a little bit all over the place, or if I repeat myself or mess up more than usual, then that's why. If you follow me over on Twitter, which I'll always leave my Twitter in the description in case you want to follow me. But if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I haven't been sleeping all that well. So literally all of my voiceovers for the past month have been recorded while I was stupidly tired and just running on sugar and caffeine. So yeah, there's that. And then also, because it is so late, my dog is actually in the room with me. He's currently sleeping behind me on my bed. And yeah, I'm hoping that he stays asleep for the whole of this voiceover. But if he decides to get up and get off of the bed, you might actually hear him when he does that, because we do have tile flooring, so obviously it's a little bit more noticeable. And then also, he might be snoring behind me. I can't exactly hear him right now. Hopefully you guys can't either. But I could hear him before I started my voiceover. So hopefully if he's snoring in the background, then hopefully you can't hear it. Because yeah, he snores. He snores and he farts a lot. So yeah, that's my dog for you. But yeah, so all of the disclaimers out of the way, let's talk a little bit more about the build. So we've moved on to the second kind of master bedroom, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's 6 bedrooms in this house, by the way. There's 6 bedrooms and 5.5 bathrooms. So 4 of, not 4, 3. No, it is 4. Yeah, 4 of those 6 bedrooms actually have their own en-suites. But you have the master bedroom downstairs that has its own little sitting room and slash office space. Then you have upstairs, you have another kind of master bedroom that's actually for the grandparents of this family, of the Kumar Mahajan family. And you guys will see them up on the screen. I'll pop a picture of them up on the screen for you. But I talked a little bit about them in the first part. I just told you their names and all of that. So I'm probably not going to do that again, because I mispronounced their names so badly. Because they are supposed to be of Indian descent. So I did try and give them kind of Indian sounding names, which I just googled. But I tried to give them names that kind of sounded authentic. And because of my accent, and because I just suck at pronouncing names in general, I really butcher their names whenever I try to pronounce them. But you can download them on the gallery if you want to. They are up on the gallery. You can find them by just going to my gallery ID, which is ChrissieYT. Also, you can find them by searching for hashtag ChrissieYT or hashtag Rebuild Willow Creek. I almost said Windenburg. But yeah, hashtag Rebuild Willow Creek. And you can also find the house if you want to download it as well. It's also up under my gallery ID, the same hashtags, and I'll also have a direct download link below in the description to both the house and the family if you want to download them from like the gallery website. But yeah, it's the Kumar Mahajan family, and basically there's a grandma, a grandpa, a mom, a dad, the mom's sister, so basically like the aunt, and then there's 3 kids. There's a teenager, a child, and a toddler. And yeah, basically, so the grandparents' room are on the 2nd floor. They have the whole like front balcony to themselves and everything like that. And then this bedroom that we're working on right now with all of like the bright, vibrant oranges, this is actually the aunt's bedroom. And you'll notice that it's a little bit more like modern than the other 2, I guess, master bedrooms. She also has her own ensuite, but yeah, she also has her own balcony as well, which is what that big door leads to. But yeah, so she's a little bit more modern, I guess, than the rest of the family. She doesn't really, basically her older sister is the one who's married. And she still lives in this house with them because she works as a public, like in the public relations career. So in like the social media career, she's in like the public relations branch. And she just likes, she likes living at home. She likes the fact that she doesn't have to pay her own bills and she can travel and all of that stuff without having to worry about like having someone like take care of her house for her while she's traveling. In my head, I figured she would travel a lot. So yeah, that's one of those things. So it's just basically just functional for her to like stay at home. And I mean, she has a very nice home. So like, why wouldn't she want to stay here? But yeah, so she still lives at home. She really doesn't want to like settle down and have kids and all of that stuff the way her sister has. So her sister, who's actually the mom, she doesn't work, and the grandma doesn't work either. They're both like stay-at-home parents. Like the grandma was a stay-at-home mom when she had her daughters when they were little. So yeah, she stays at home, she takes care of the house, all of that stuff. That's kind of the way they both like it, because they're both very family oriented. So they like, being as involved in their kids' lives as they possibly can be. But yeah, so the younger daughter, so basically like the aunt, she just doesn't see that life for herself. She likes traveling, she likes, being social and having friends and going out, and yeah, she just doesn't see herself settling down and having kids anytime soon. And then we have I mentioned that the grandma and the mom doesn't work. But the grandpa actually works as a professor. He's still a professor. And then the dad is actually a doctor. And then, yeah, that's basically all of the like adults in the household. Then we have the teenager whose room we're actually working on right now. You'll see that I did put up a few pictures of like a cityscape from like city living. And that's because I actually thought that she loves the city. In her mind, she loves the city. She wants to move to the city as soon as she's able to, and she actually loves her aunt's career. That's kind of like, she's very close with her aunt in my head. She's a lot closer to her aunt than she is to her mom, because she is a little bit more like, I guess, modern. She's a little bit more, she's not as old-fashioned as her mom is, in the sense that she doesn't want to settle down and all of that stuff. She's a little bit more like her aunt in that way. And yeah, she wants to move to the city. She's really into fashion and like designing stuff. So I figured that maybe she'd want to get into like the fashion designer career, or maybe like the stylist career or something like that. And yeah, that's kind of what she's into. And that's why she also loves her aunt's like job, because her aunt is in the social media career. So yeah, I figured they would get along really, really well. And then they also have a child and a toddler living in this household. And we're actually moved onto the toddler's room, and we're working on her room first. But yeah, she's a very spoiled little girl. I mean, all of the kids in this house are kind of spoiled. I mean, even the teenager has her own like walk-in like ensuite bathroom. Only the toddler and the child actually have to share a bathroom. But yeah, the toddler has a lot of toys. I went crazy with all of the toys in her bedroom. And yeah, I love the way this toddler room turned out. It's probably one of my favorite toddler rooms that I've ever done. I don't know why, but I love the muted colors. It's not super bright. It's not super vibrant like neon colors the way my toddler rooms usually are. And I don't know, I just love the way that turned out. I mean, all of the bedrooms in this build are probably some of my like favorite ones that I've ever done. Especially the teenager room and the aunt's bedroom, and then like this toddler room, like I said. But yeah, I love the way her room turned out. I don't know what it is about it, but it's a very nice bedroom, and I would have loved a bedroom like this when I was little. So yeah, she's actually a wild, so that's her trait. She's a wild toddler. And I figured that would be perfect because her mom probably has her hands full with her. So yeah, her mom really doesn't mind staying home and watching the kids because the toddler is a handful. And then the last bedroom that we're going to be working on is the child's bedroom. He's actually the only boy. Both of the other kids are girls. But yeah, so we have the child's bedroom, and he's into basically a little bit of everything. He loves arts and crafts, but he also loves like video games, void critters, and I put up some shelves eventually that you'll see that I clutter up with a bunch of like figurines and those collectible Simmy statues from Snowy Escape, and I believe I even put up some like My Sims dolls and everything like that. So yeah, in my head he's really into like void critters and gaming and maybe even like science, because he does have a few like science projects that he did that I thought he would have done around his room, like the electricity one, the rocket ship, the little robot that they make. So yeah, he's basically a jack of all trades, I guess. He's a very outgoing child. I think his aspiration is actually the like social aspiration. So in my head, he's a very social kid as well. But yeah, that's basically all of the bedrooms, I think. Yeah, that's all of the bedrooms, and then we move on to the rest of the house. Now, the rest of the house isn't as colorful as the like bedrooms are, and it isn't as personalized as the bedrooms are either. Mainly because in my head, when people live in fancy homes like these, they usually have people like not a butler necessarily, but like a maid or someone that comes in and tidies up and make sure that everything is in its place and that there's nothing messy just laying about, all of that kind of stuff. So in my head, they do have someone like that. Or maybe the mom and the grandma, because they spend most of their time at home, maybe they just like having a really neat and tidy house, which is why both the grandparents' room and the parents' room, they're both very like clutter free. I didn't really clutter up their rooms as much as all of the other bedrooms. So in my head, maybe it's just them that do like having a nice tidy house that people can come to, and you don't have to feel like embarrassed because there's random toys everywhere or anything like that. They ask the kids to like keep their clutter and their toys and their messiness in their bedrooms. So yeah, that's why the rest of the house isn't as cluttered as the bedrooms are. I put a lot of work and a lot of clutter and time into the bedrooms, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or what, but I love the way they turned out, so I don't even mind the fact that, you know, I spent a little bit more time on them. But yeah, the next room that we're working on is actually the study. I figured it would be for the grandpa because he is a professor, and in my head, this used to be their house. So this used to be the grandparents' house, and then their daughter, and you know, obviously their daughter has always lived here, but then her husband moved in, and you know, all of that stuff. So they're staying like in the grandparents' house. So in my head, this would be the grandpa's office. And also because the parents, they do have their own like seating area like attached to their bedroom. So in my head, the dad, if he has work that he needs to do from home, then he would just do it out of there because they do have their own desk and everything like that set up in that room. So yeah, in my head, the office space would be mostly just for the grandpa, maybe for the grandma if she wants to sit and read a book, stuff like that. But yeah, the dad is actually a workaholic. I should probably mention that. The family is fairly like drama free, which is a little bit different for my kind of gameplay. Usually my Sims are very like, their families and their stories are very like full of drama usually. But this family is actually quite drama free, if I'm being completely honest, apart from the fact that the dad is literally a workaholic. He has the workaholic lifestyle. So yeah, apart from that, the family is fairly like normal, I guess, or like cookie cutter would be a better way of describing that. But yeah, so the office is for the grandpa in my head. Then they also have a formal dining room, which is what we're working on right now. A very big formal dining room with a big table that I figured probably doesn't get used too much. Maybe they have like Sunday dinners, or maybe like once a week they have dinner as a family together, because they're all very like, they all love their family, they all love spending time with their families. They're all just very busy. In my head, the teenager is probably very busy with her own stuff. The like aunt is very busy with her own career, with her traveling and meetings and parties and all of that stuff. And then the dad, like I said, he's a workaholic. The grandpa is still a like teacher or like a professor. So in my head, he also, you know, he has a fair bit of work that he needs to get done. Maybe he has to work from home sometimes, all of that kind of stuff. So I figured, you know, they're still very family oriented. So they would probably have dinner together maybe like once a week or something. Maybe they get together for the, like have big dinners for like big meals, I guess, for like the holidays or whatever. And then we have the kitchen that's actually right off of the dining room, and it's not a super big kitchen if you like take into consideration how big the rest of the house is, because not this whole room isn't going to end up as the kitchen. Half of it is actually going to be like a little breakfast nook kind of thing with a table and 4 chairs, and I even add some bar seating to that, to like the kitchen as well. So I add some bar counters to it. But yeah, it's not super big, it's not super fancy, but I figured they're the kind of Sims that they wouldn't have someone come in like a chef or anything like that if they have parties or anything. I figured that the mom or the grandma would probably do most of the cooking, because I believe the mom actually has the foodie trait, if I'm not mistaken. I made this family quite a while ago, so I can't exactly remember. But I believe the mom has the foodie trait, so she probably likes doing most of the cooking herself. So in my head, they don't really need a super big kitchen. I mean, it's still big, and it's still fancy, and it has everything your Sims could need. But yeah, it's not overly big that, you know, it's kind of unpractical or impractical for your Sims to actually use it, I guess, is probably the best way of describing that. And then the last room that we're going to be moving on to is actually going to be the living room. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the house. So the house did end up being 325,000-ish simoleons. And it's on a 40 by 30 lot in Willow Creek, like right next to where the Goths live. That's where this family will be living in my save file. And like I said, you can download all of them on the gallery as well as the house. It's completely done. And yeah, you can download it on the gallery. All of that information will be in the description. And just keep in mind that I didn't like pack restrict this build at all, because I'm not pack restricting any of the builds in my save file, because the save file itself isn't pack restricted. So yeah, I did end up using a ton of packs. I think I used every single expansion pack that we have, and probably every game pack. I don't think I used every stuff pack that we have, but I'm pretty sure I'm very close to using like every single pack that we have. So apologies for that if you don't own every pack. But if you don't own every pack, you can actually just click on the icon on like the gallery where it shows you which packs I've used. Just click on that icon, and there's a button that you can click on that'll show you just the items that I've used from that specific pack. So a lot of the time I'll have used maybe like one plant or one light or something like that. So in the case of this build, I did use Journey to Batuu, which is the like Star Wars game pack that we have. That's very impractical normally, but I love the lights and the plants that actually come with that pack. So I have used the like hanging lights and some of the plants in this build. But if you don't have that pack, then you're not going to be missing anything apart from a few decorative plants and some lights, which is something you can very easily replace. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you enjoyed the build, give the video a like, and if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. I also have channel memberships active on the channel, and if you click on the little blue join button that's right next to the subscribe button, it'll actually give you a lot more information about what channel memberships actually are, how you can become a channel member, and all of the perks and stuff that you get by becoming a channel member. But I hope you all have a great day, and happy Valentine's Day if you celebrate, and I will talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.
I guess I'm lonely, I'm starting to grow old, and I thought my youth would last forever. Take me back to when we were kids and didn't care if we were acting stupid, cause all we had was us. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you, because now I see we were meant to be. Where are you now? Heard you live far away, but just tell me where and I'll come see ya. I'm afraid that I'll end up here alone. Hope you'll understand how much I need ya. Take me back to when we were kids and didn't care if we were acting stupid, cause all we had was us. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you, because now I see we were meant to be. And didn't care if we were acting stupid, cause all we had was us. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be. Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back